Earlier this year, I was able to get on that WBC roster.
Oh, at the wall! This offseason with Tucker. That's at the wall. It's gone.
I'm from Windsor, Ontario. Grade 11, I was cut. And a couple months later, I wound up on the junior national team. I wasn't even too sure if I was good enough to play past high school. And next thing you know, I'm getting recruited by a bunch of schools and scouted professionally. So
what was the turning point there?
that was one of the first times in my life where I kind of realized just because it seems bad initially doesn't mean it's going to be bad in the long run. There's another team. Let's go play. That was my mindset. I ended up finding a great school in Mississippi State University. I was drafted in the 8th round by the Tigers, which was my favorite team growing up.
Robson sliding and making the ground.
One of my goals in life is to become a Major League Baseball player. Favorite team is the Detroit Tigers. I've always grown up watching them being right across the border.
When you got that call from the Tigers, what was that moment like for you?
We were playing against University of Arizona. Was hoping to get drafted before the game, so I wouldn't have to be thinking about it. I woke up that morning really anxious to get a call, and the day just kind of went by and I hadn't been called. I'm looking at my phone. We have team scouting report. Look at my phone. There's nothing. And I was about to go take the field. The phone started to ring and I answered the phone, and it was a number that I didn't have saved. Someone says, "Hey, you ready to go?" And I said, "Yeah, for sure." I didn't even know what he was even saying. And he said, "Okay, all right, we got you. Congrats." I said, "Okay, thanks," and hung up. And I didn't know what team it was. and so I had to check Twitter.
What would you say is an important thing for the kids and the family to know when they're going into that process?
I was not a showcase guy. I was never invited to the All-American, area code, perfect game, none of that, never. Part of that, I think, is because I'm undersized.
We've seen home runs, stolen bases, all of it coming in a frame that measures 5 feet 10 inches and 175 pounds.
I needed to be seen playing in a baseball game. I've always been a believer in if you're good enough, they'll find you. I have a tough time finding a better example than me because I was cut from my own team. You really, when you focus on your own skills, focus on how good you are at the game, deep down if you're good enough or not, and if you need to work on things. And the beautiful thing about the game of baseball is that there's always something to improve on, because at the end of the day, it's baseball all the way up to the big leagues is time and place. It's circumstantial. If they don't need a player in your position, then they don't need you. If you're good enough, they'll see you, and you'll wind up right where you're supposed to be.